Hello, computer scientist. Welcome again. Let's take a look today, right now, at some Python programming. I know you've programmed before. We're going to program in an online environment. So I'm going to bring up my browser, and we're going to take a look at a site called Replit, repl.it. Replid is an online site. Now you'll notice that you could either sign up or sign in if you wanted to. And I encourage you, maybe that would be helpful to you. But I'm going to select this tab up here without signing in, logging in or signing up. I'm going to select New REPL. You notice that you have an option of a number of different programming languages to work with. We're going to work with Python. Many of you have programmed in Python before. You've all programmed before. So even if you haven't seen Python, it's not that big a deal. So I select Python, create my REPL, and here's my environment. The nice thing about Replit is, unlike some other online environments, it's pretty interactive. You can do, rather than having to preload input and output, you can see it right here interactively. Type your Python into the design screen in the middle, I/O screen on the right, packages on the left. Now, I'll just bring up a sample because I want to point out something. Let's take a look at the factorial. You know what factorial does, and you've programmed before and you've seen factorial represented in this way in a recursive fashion. In order to see what happens, I'll issue the run command, and you'll notice in the right window there's my answer. I'll change it from 5 to 10, run it again, and rather than 120, we get a pretty big number, of course. Folks, in addition to truth, accuracy, our algorithms have to be correct. We're also concerned about beauty, goodness, community. This code is lacking in those areas. In a community standpoint, it doesn't identify the author and the date. If you're creating code, comment it to identify you as the author and the date and the context that this code is in. No piece of code stands alone. We're always merging things together in packages. And we'll want to find out who originally created that, especially if we have some questions. And if you ever needed to modify, maintain, or look at this code, it doesn't look good. There are no comments. A meaningful comment identifies why. No need to explain what. I'm a programmer. I can see what you're doing. Tell me why you're doing it. And then, of course, every module object should have a standard header talking about the prototype I/O, and again, the author and date of it. And one-character variable names really are not meaningful. They're just not beautiful. And come on, let's put some other code here. Now, here's some code that I created to determine the future value of money. You notice that things wrap. I could expand this a little bit so it's not wrapped there. But you'll notice a couple things about this code. First of all, it doesn't have any comments, so I would still claim this is not beautiful, good, has a great community aspect of it. But there are meaningful variable names. Many people would say the layout and the structure is self-documenting, although that is truly an oxymoron. Here is something a little better. Again, I'll run it, and you notice I can do my interaction right here. What's the principal amount? $10,000. Remember, no formatting on input. Enter the yearly interest rate. Enter the number of years. The future value. Input prompts are great. The user would know exactly what to do. The output prompt is good too, but the output formatting is lacking. So even in a simple Python program, there's much more to think about than just truth or the accuracy of the algorithm. Oftentimes, computer science students, that's all we consider. But as computer science professionals in the vocation of computer science, we consider not only truth, but beauty, goodness, and community. So think about how would another programmer interact with your code? Could they do that well? And secondly, how is the user interacting with your program? Could they do that well? When you've thought about the other person, when you've applied the golden rule to programming for both other programmers and the user, now you're truly thinking about the ethics of it, and you're also thinking about how can I love and serve my neighbor? All right, folks, happy programming.